Grab a cocktail with us and welcome to the hot mess that is my life as a single makeup artist living in a college town in Florida. This is Kara's Lipstick Diary. All right, you guys, we are back for the second half of the episode about being childless by choice. Have you hit that subscribe button? You know you want to. Hit it. It's going to make me so happy if you do. Anyways, grab your long drink. Let's sit back and finish our conversation about life without children as adult women. But I think that's that ongoing, we choose which one we want to do. But it does really bother me that as women, those are the two times we really celebrate women. And then you also hear that the pay gap. Men get raises when their wife is pregnant. Women make less money when they're pregnant and have kids. I'm sorry.
And or lose their job.
Correct. Like, I'm sorry, what? Are you fucking kidding me? The man who is not birthing the child, who is going to be parented himself, because we all know that that's part of it, he gets more money and I make less? No, not okay with that. I don't get it. And I don't understand also, I feel bad for women who desperately want children. Desperately want them, and then they have children, and the reality of it is so much different than what they're told.
Yeah, I have a number of acquaintances that are in that position. Yeah. They desperately wanted children, but then even then they get pregnant or they had a hard time getting pregnant. So they get pregnant and everyone is really happy about that, and they feel silenced. They can't say this is hard.
Yeah. Well,
I don't really care for this.
Yeah.
They can't say that because
it's what they wanted.
It's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's typically the response.
Yeah.
Like the nerve of someone to actually say that.
I think there's such dishonesty in how we talk about what it actually takes to raise a child. And we sugarcoat it. And it's the greatest thing that will ever happen to you. And then the reality is, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is no sleep. It is constantly being sick. It is them destroying everything in your house, the cost of the money. I mean, it is, and you don't know the health of your child.
And you can't, it's hard to grow
Yeah.
when you're parent as an individual, when you're parenting,
because
you're responsible for their mental health and their development. And so it's really hard to do that. And also self-care and your own self-development.
I think I was fortunate because at a very young age, right out of college, I was working at a childcare facility and I was nannying. So I got thrown into this is what it is to have children.
Eye-opening.
Oh, was it ever eye-opening? And one of the babies, I was nannying an 18-month-old boy, and he had a newborn baby sister. And the dad was there for the most part to take care of the 18-month-old, or take care of the baby while I took care of the 18-month-old. But sometimes I was stuck with both of them. And the newborn, something was wrong with her digestive system. And all she did was scream and scream. And never stop screaming. It was nonstop because she was in pain and she was an infant. And I remember being like, I am dealing with this for 4 hours and I want to jump off a bridge. If I had this 24/7, I would jump off a bridge.
Jump off a bridge.
I understand why women go crazy.
Yeah.
The postpartum. And I think that's one of the reasons postpartum is so prevalent is you want this baby so badly. And then you get the baby.
You're faced with the reality.
And the reality is so much more overwhelming than you had any idea.
But you still have all these raging hormones.
Exactly.
So trying to settle all of that down. And
we don't talk about that with women. I mean, I have watched some of my friends right after having babies, and for a year, 2 years, their depression level is through the roof.
Yeah.
You have destroyed your body, you've destroyed your mental health, and you're trying to raise another human.
And it takes that long to get, and yet up until I feel like recently, when you have a baby, people are surprised that you don't have your body back.
Right.
Right away.
My God.
And people will say, even when
get your pre-baby body back,
or when you're, walking through the grocery store and you've got a newborn, but you still have the belly, well, that's the way your body works.
What your body's
and
doing.
People are surprised that you don't have your pre-baby body back so quickly. And so, I mean, I know people that it's taken them years,
if ever, if your body ever goes back, because it may not. I mean, I remember one of my friends literally posting on social media. This was literally weeks after she had her baby, that she was getting DMs from people about how to get your baby body back or pre-baby body back. And it was like, yo, I just fucking birthed a human.
Yeah.
Leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? And the thing is our bodies as is, you and I can both, I mean, you and I were in our younger lives, both much smaller than, we are now.
Absolutely.
Life in general makes shit happen with your body. Like, y'all, I was a size 0. I ain't a size 0 anymore. It ain't ever going back to a size 0. I don't care. I given up. I like who I am now. I'm actually much more confident. But like our bodies change anyways.
Sure.
And then you add that you are growing a human being inside of you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to push it out of you or have it cut out of you. Either way, very invasive. And then it's going to feed off of your boob.
Oh my God.
And we're going to expect that women's bodies are just going to like bounce back.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous expectation.
Yes.
But also, I feel like in general, we don't, as a society, we don't educate women that this is what's happening. And certainly not before, in your 20s.
No.
Like no one, because
oh my God, no.
They're just sold the whole, this is the expectation.
Beautiful.
And
birthing is a beautiful experience. Excuse me? Birthing is a beautiful experience? Oh no, literally a human rips out of your vagina, you shit yourself. Like, no, this ain't beautiful. This ain't beautiful. Anyone who tells you this shit is beautiful is fucking crazy. Like literally, by the way, if anyone isn't aware of this already, pregnancy is my #1 phobia. Quite terrifying to me because all of the, like, I'm sorry, you're growing an alien inside of you. It comes ripping out of you. You shit yourself and then it's going to feed off of your breast. Like, what the fuck?
it's like literally Alien. It's literally the movie Alien.
It is the movie Alien. Like, okay, so someone showed me the movie Spaceballs as a child.
Oh, okay.
And my mother had a scar on her stomach anyways from something else. It was not from birthing me, but she had a scar on her stomach. But I saw Spaceballs and that little alien comes out of the person's stomach and starts tap dancing. Fucking scared the shit out of me. And now, like, that's what I associate it with. Like, it's bad. Like, but it's literally, that's what you're doing to your body. And to be like, it's beautiful. It's fabulous. No, y'all, it ain't. And when you're telling this to women and not giving them realistic expectations, that's where a lot of trauma also comes from.
Sure.
Like, I look at these women and like, they are puking every single day to the point that they're having to get IVs because they're so ill from the pregnancy. And yet no one warns them. Like, thank God I knew because I would not be cut out for this shit, y'all.
I just, even when I was younger, I was never a baby person. Like I never really wanted to, I just never really had a desire.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had a specific aversion to children. it was never really something that I thought about at first, like when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And then as a young adult, I bought into the whole, get married and have children. And then once I got to the point where, okay, I'm married and it's time for us to start discussing children, I started having panic attacks because I realized it was just not something that I wanted. And my life was stacking up to where there was this expectation. And without having the ability yet to say, that's not what I want. My body was saying,
this is not what I want.
No.
Yeah.
And so that, that's kind of part of my story. But I, even then, like early on, I thought, well, I think it'd be neat to be pregnant, but then from like labor on, I'm just not really interested in anything after that.
Did you play with baby dolls as a child?
Not really.
No, I didn't either.
I actually, I've had this discussion with my sister. So I have a sister who is not a whole lot older than or younger than me. And she was very much a baby doll, Barbies, that kind of thing.
Oh, I had Barbies in the box so I could look at their fashion.
The only thing I ever did really with Barbies was dress them and play with their hair.
Okay, I made them have sex. I literally, and I didn't have any Kens. So I had a lot of lesbian sex happening.
Oh, I was raised in a very religious family. We were not
I don't think my
have
family
Ken.
knew that I was doing any of this, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's, and I remember I liked the My Child dolls just because they were cute. But I didn't play with them like they were children. Then Little Miss Makeup. Again, shocking. I asked for the doll that had makeup on.
Right.
And I had Barbies for the fashion and to make them have sex. But then I did not, my playing as a child, I was an entrepreneur from like childhood. I remember I liked playing store.
Yes.
I liked playing teacher so I could boss people around.
Yes.
I liked playing dress up. Mm-hmm. And I made shit to sell. Like, oh my God, I would like literally, my friend and I, we would like set up booths like in our front yard and just sell people shit. Like that's what I liked doing.
Right.
I didn't play mom. Mm-mm. My family tried to make me play mom. All of my stuffed animals were my kids. Mm-hmm. And like on Mother's Day, my stuffed animals would give me presents. And I remember just thinking that was odd.
Yeah.
And even my family, even though it's
because that's what they expected of you.
Yes, they expected me to be a little mom.
Yeah. Well, but they also were teaching you that on Mother's Day, like,
this is what you do. Yeah. And I was like, no.
Which to me, Mother's Day is like I just don't understand. We're celebrating women. Okay.
But then we're going to make them go out with all the children.
With all the kids. Like I want a day off. If
exactly.
That's what we're talking about.
If I'm a mother, Mother's Day needs to be like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Send me to a fucking spa resort and
away
like,
from everyone.
No children. Yes. No, I agree. This conversation, girl, you're gonna have to come back because we haven't even touched on half the shit. Like we haven't talked about some of these other things that come up, our biological clocks. You're gonna change your mind.
I have one of those.
Oh, honey, I took my batteries out and put them in the vibrator.
I love that.
My biological clock, we turn that fucker off. But there is just so much to this, and our society is so keyed up on us having kids. And the things women do to their bodies to have their own biological child when there are millions of children out there who need love. Just all these different topics and just the constant criticism to those of us who choose not to. It's overwhelming at times. And I felt like for the longest time on my dating apps, I had to say like, no children interested in them. And then one day I went, no. But I felt like if I said no children not interested,
no one would talk to you.
Right. I thought I'd be like a fucking shrew and everyone would think I was evil.
Well, and I've still had men say, well, you'll change. I'm going to out myself. I just turned 45. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to change my mind.
I'm 41. I'm not changing it.
I understand that men, at this age and even older can have children. Like this body is not doing that.
This body is closed for business when it comes to that purpose. Yeah. Well, I mean, my family even said to me, like, this was probably 3 years ago. I said something to my father and I said, well, do you understand now why I don't want children? And he goes, we never thought you were serious when you said that. I'm serious.
Well, that's a whole nother topic that just society in general doesn't take women
we aren't taken
seriously.
But I think, we go back to, we all make our own choices. Not everything is cookie cutter. Like we all need different things in our lives and women are allowed to not want to have kids. Yeah. We're allowed to want to come home to an empty house. Like I come home to a home with no man, no kids, no pets, no fucking plants I have to take care of. I come home. This is my escape.
Safe place
where I can unwind, recharge and do what I need to do to be a healthy, productive member of society. Mm-hmm. That's what works for me.
And I don't understand why that's such a problem. Why
I don't
that
either.
Is so offensive
to other people.
And I don't have a problem if you decide that you want children and that's what you want and that
I'm not offended by it.
I'm not offended by that. What I'm offended by is the fact that you think that you have license to judge my decisions.
Correct. I mean, many of my dearest friends have children. I love their fucking babies. They're my little baby friends. I love them.
Yes.
They made that choice. I made this choice. We all good.
Yeah.
And that's what it should be. We should allow women to live the life that fits their needs. And I think it goes back to the fact that as a society, we aren't letting women do that. In general. Mm. And this is one of the big areas of that. And we are seen as such fucking shrewds for not wanting to have kids. But I feel like I can do more for children if I'm not their parent.
Absolutely.
To be honest. Like I can give children that love and that attention and not be their parent. So anyways, Tara, thank you so much for coming on the show. I love also that it's Tara and Kara, like, you know, we rhyme. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. And you guys remember to hit that subscribe button. Super important. And we will talk to you again soon. Bye.